Hey everyone, welcome back to the Gold IRA Blueprint. We're here to help you understand how gold IRAs can really help you secure your retirement.
Retirement should be about relaxing and enjoying everything you worked for.
Right, not worrying about inflation,
Exactly.
eating away at your savings.
Absolutely.
And for those of you looking to kind of explore those options, we have a free checklist available at goldirablueprint.com/exclusive.
That's right.
And it'll kind of walk you through choosing the right gold IRA company.
It's your roadmap
It's your roadmap
to a golden retirement.
to golden retirement,
Yeah.
if you will.
But before we dive into all that, let's address the elephant in the room,
Okay.
inflation.
Okay, so let's unpack this whole gold as an inflation fighter thing.
Yeah.
The course material mentions that over the past 50 years, gold has actually outpaced inflation by 2–3% annually.
Right.
But is that always the case?
That's a great question.
Are there times when gold doesn't perform as well?
Yeah. And it's important to remember that no investment is foolproof.
Right?
But while gold has historically held its value during inflationary periods, there have been times when it's underperformed.
Like when?
For example, during the late 1990s and early 2000s,
Okay.
when tech stocks were booming,
Ah,
gold prices remained relatively stagnant.
interesting.
So it's not a guaranteed win,
Right.
but more like a strategic hedge against the erosion of purchasing power that inflation brings.
Okay, so it's not about putting all your eggs in the gold basket, but rather adding it to the mix to create a more balanced retirement portfolio.
Precisely.
Okay.
It's about diversification and having a portion of your portfolio in an asset that tends to perform well when traditional investments like stocks and bonds might be struggling.
Makes sense.
Think of it this way. During the 1970s, when the U.S. faced a period of high inflation,
Okay.
gold prices skyrocketed, offering a safe haven for investors, while other assets were losing value.
Okay, that's a pretty compelling example.
Yeah.
But why does gold tend to hold its value when inflation rises?
Well, unlike paper currency, which can be printed endlessly,
Right.
gold has a limited supply.
Yeah.
It's a tangible asset with inherent value that isn't tied to the whims of governments or central banks.
So it's like a safety net
Exactly.
when everything else seems shaky,
Yeah,
especially when you think about retirement planning.
exactly. And that's where gold IRAs come in.
Yep.
They provide a way to incorporate this historical safe haven asset into your retirement savings plan.
Okay, so remind us again, what exactly is a gold IRA?
Sure.
And how does it differ from a traditional IRA?
A gold IRA is a self-directed individual retirement account that allows you to hold physical gold,
Okay,
as well as other precious metals like silver, platinum, and palladium,
got it.
within a tax-advantaged retirement plan.
So it's not just about buying gold bars and stashing them under your mattress.
That's right.
There's a specific IRS-approved way to do this.
You work with a specialized custodian to set up the account,
Oh,
purchase the gold,
okay.
and ensure it's stored in a secure IRS-approved depository. It's similar to a traditional IRA in terms of contribution limits and tax-deferred growth.
Hmm.
But instead of holding stocks or bonds, you're holding physical precious metals.
Got it. So it's like having a piece of that tangible, historically valuable asset within your retirement plan,
Exactly.
a way to potentially hedge against inflation and market volatility.
Exactly. And what's fascinating here is that it's not just about protecting your wealth today.
Right.
It's also about potentially minimizing the tax burden on your heirs
Right.
when you pass that wealth down.
Now we're talking legacy planning, and that's something that's important to a lot of folks.
You bet.
But isn't inheriting a large sum sometimes a bit of a tax nightmare for the beneficiaries?
You're right. That's where integrating gold IRAs into your estate plan can be incredibly beneficial.
So how does that work?
Yeah?
Tell me more about this estate planning angle.
Sure. First, it's important to understand that gold held within an IRA grows tax-deferred, meaning you don't owe capital gains taxes on that growth until you make withdrawals, typically in retirement.
So the longer it appreciates, the more potential tax savings, especially as you head into retirement.
Precisely. And when it comes to passing on that wealth, there are various strategies. You can name beneficiaries directly, just like with a traditional IRA, or use trusts to potentially minimize estate taxes for your heirs.
Okay, trusts, that sounds a bit complicated. Could you break that down a bit further for us?
Of course. A trust is basically a legal entity that holds assets for the benefit of another person or people. You can set up a trust as part of your estate plan
Right.
to manage the distribution of your assets, including a gold IRA,
Okay.
according to your wishes.
So it's a way to control how and when your heirs receive those assets
Exactly.
and potentially reduce their tax burden.
Exactly. And for those looking to pass wealth down to their grandchildren,
Yeah.
There's something called a generation skipping trust, which can be a powerful tool for minimizing estate taxes across multiple generations.
Wow, there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
So gold IRAs can help me fight inflation, potentially lower my tax burden.
A&E play a key role in my estate planning. That's right.
They offer a unique combination of benefits that can be especially appealing in today's economic climate.
Absolutely.
This is all incredibly interesting. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of rules and regulations, I want to remind our listeners about that free checklist at goldirablueprint.com/exclusive.
Yes,
It's a great resource for anyone looking to start exploring gold IRA options.
absolutely. Knowledge is power.
Yep.
And that checklist is a great first step towards taking control of your financial future.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground, from gold's historical performance as an inflation hedge to its potential role in estate planning. Now, I'm sure our listeners are eager to know what they need to be aware of when it comes to the rules and regulations surrounding gold IRAs.
Right.
We'll dive into all of that after a quick
After a quick break.
break. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. All right, so let's get into those rules and regulations surrounding gold IRAs.
Yes, please. Understanding the guidelines is crucial for anyone considering this path.
Absolutely. First off, it's important to note that gold IRAs, just like traditional IRAs, have specific rules set by the IRS.
Okay, so what are some of the key things to keep in mind? What are the must-knows before diving in?
Well, for starters, the gold you hold in your IRA must be at least 99.5% pure.
Okay,
This ensures you're investing in high-quality, investment-grade gold.
that makes sense. So no panning for gold in a nearby stream and adding it to my IRA.
Not quite. You'll need to purchase gold from a reputable dealer that meets these IRS standards.
Got it. Speaking of reputable dealers, this is where that free checklist at goldirablueprint.com/exclusive comes in handy, right? It can help listeners find trustworthy gold IRA companies.
Exactly. It's important to work with professionals who know the ins and outs of gold IRAs and can guide you through the process.
Absolutely. Now, what about contribution limits? Are they the same as traditional IRAs?
Yes, they are. For 2025, the annual contribution limit for both traditional and gold IRAs is $6,500 or $7,500 if you're 50 or older.
So even though we're talking about gold, the same annual contribution limits apply as with stocks or bonds in a traditional IRA.
That's right. And just like with traditional IRAs, gold IRAs are subject to required minimum distributions, or RMDs, once you reach age 73.
RMDs, that's something a lot of folks approaching retirement are curious about. Could you remind us what those are all about?
Of course, RMDs are the minimum amount of money you're required to withdraw from your retirement accounts each year once you hit that age threshold. It's the government's way of ensuring you eventually start taking distributions from those accounts and paying taxes on your retirement savings.
Right, so it's not a way to completely avoid taxes forever.
Exactly. However, the good news is that you can plan for those distributions in advance and work with a financial professional to minimize any potential tax liabilities.
It sounds like having a solid understanding of these rules is crucial for anyone considering a gold IRA.
Absolutely. It's not something to jump into blindly. Doing your research, talking to experts, and carefully considering your individual financial goals and risk tolerance is essential.
Okay, so we've covered inflation estate planning and now the basic regulations around gold IRAs. But where does this all fit into the bigger picture of a retirement strategy? Should gold be the only IOL investment in my portfolio?
That's a great question, and it brings us to a crucial point. Diversification. Gold can be a powerful tool, but it shouldn't be your only investment.
So it's not about going all in on gold.
Precisely. Think of your retirement portfolio like a well-balanced meal. You wouldn't want to eat only one type of food.
Okay, I'm liking this food analogy. Walk me through it.
You need a variety of nutrients for a healthy diet. Similarly, your retirement portfolio needs a mix of assets, stocks for growth, potential bonds for stability, perhaps some real estate, and yes, a portion dedicated to precious metals like gold for that extra layer of protection against inflation and market volatility.
So gold is like adding a sprinkle of something special, maybe some spice or a unique flavor, to make the overall dish more robust and resilient.
Exactly. It's about creating a mix that aligns with your risk tolerance and long-term goals. Most financial advisors typically recommend allocating around 5–10% of a retirement portfolio to precious metals.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not about putting all your eggs in one basket, but creating a mix that can weather different economic conditions.
Right. And here's another interesting point. The demand for gold is rising globally, especially in emerging markets. This further solidifies its position as a valuable and sought-after asset.
So it's not just a relic of the past, it's a player in the modern global economy.
Exactly. This global demand bodes well for its long-term value.
This brings us back to that idea of legacy, of passing on financial security to future generations. It seems like gold IRAs as part of a well-thought-out estate plan can really help build that lasting financial foundation.
Absolutely. Imagine being able to pass down not just financial assets, but also a sense of security and stability that gold can represent. That's a powerful legacy to leave.
Indeed. And for listeners who are ready to explore this further, don't forget about that free checklist available at goldirablueprint.com/exclusive. It's packed with valuable information to help you choose the right gold IRA company.
It's a great resource to have on hand as you start this journey.
Okay, so let's recap what we've covered so far. We've talked about its potential as a hedge against inflation,
Right.
the tax advantages, and how it can be a valuable tool in estate planning.
That's right. We've explored how gold,
Yeah.
with its limited supply and inherent value,
Right.
has historically held its worth during times of economic uncertainty,
Yeah.
offering a level of protection
Right.
that traditional assets may not provide.
And we've discussed how gold IRAs,
Right.
with their tax-deferred growth and estate planning flexibility,
Right.
can help you not only protect your savings, but also potentially reduce the tax burden on your heirs.
Exactly. It's about taking a proactive approach to retirement planning,
Right.
thinking not only about preserving your wealth, but also about ensuring a smooth transition of that wealth. Okay.
For future generations.
So for those listening who are thinking, okay, a gold IRA sounds interesting,
Right.
but where do I even begin?
Yeah.
What advice would you give?
The first step is always knowledge.
Right.
Do your research, understand the intricacies of gold IRAs.
Okay.
Weigh the potential benefits and risks, and consider how it aligns with your overall retirement goals.
And of course, don't forget that free checklist at goldirablueprint.com/exclusive.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic resource to help you choose the right gold IRA company.
Absolutely.
A crucial step in ensuring your investment is handled correctly.
Working with a knowledgeable and trustworthy company is paramount.
Right.
They can guide you through the process, answer your questions, and ensure your gold is stored securely
Yes.
in an IRS-approved depository.
It's always wise to consult with a financial advisor who specializes in retirement planning, too.
Yeah.
They can help you determine if a gold IRA is a good fit for your individual circumstances and risk tolerance. Couldn't agree more. Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to retirement planning.
Right.
It's about finding what works best for you.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into gold IRAs, what's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
I'd say it's this: in an era marked by economic uncertainties,
Yeah.
a gold IRA can be a valuable tool for diversifying your portfolio and potentially safeguarding your hard-earned savings
Okay.
from inflation's erosive effects.
So well said. It's about taking control of your financial future and creating a legacy of financial stability
Yes.
for yourself and your loved ones.
Exactly. It's about that peace of mind.
Right.
Knowing that a portion of your retirement savings is backed by a tangible,
Right.
historically valuable asset,
Yeah.
like gold.
So as you reflect on everything we've discussed today, here's a final thought-provoking question for you.
Okay.
Considering the current economic climate, could adding a gold IRA to your portfolio provide the stability and peace of mind you're looking for in a retirement?
It's a question worth pondering. And remember, knowledge is power.
Right.
Arm yourself with the information you need to make informed decisions about your financial future.
And for a handy guide to help you navigate the world of gold IRAs, don't forget to visit goldirablueprint.com/exclusive for that free checklist. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time.